dreaded, or the Covenant, or whatever you want to call this thing, Starcaster by Fender. So the story behind this guitar is I actually got it for Christmas like 2 or 3 years ago from my mother, who picked it up at a flea market for dirt cheap. It was just one of those things that I remember her calling me about it before Christmas, and I asked her what it was. If she told me she got me a guitar, so at that point I already know what I'm getting. And she said that it was a Fender guitar, and I was like, what? So this whole time I'm thinking that she found some Fender Stratocaster at a flea market and basically stole it. And then on Christmas I got this, and I never knew that this was a big box store guitar. I've never heard of this guitar. And what's crazy about it is it took me a little bit to actually dig into it. So for a while I was just thinking to myself, what is this guitar? Because to be honest with you, some of the stereotypes that you hear about this guitar are true. You know, when I first got this, I tried plugging it in for my mother and stuff, who came over for Christmas, and I just couldn't get the thing to hold tune. And after she left, I tinkered with it a little bit, but never really dived into it. And I just couldn't seem to get it to work, man, with the factory parts. So after sitting on it for like 2.5, 3 years, I decided to throw some money at it. And that kind of just snowballed, because I ended up getting a little more than I really thought I was going to get for it. So, I'll show you some B-roll, but with this in my hand right now, I picked up some Music Lily locking tuners. I'm not sure what gear ratio they are off the top of my head, but they're not the cheapest ones. That much I do know. I have a Graphtec Tusk nut here. As we move down, we got the factory strap locks. I will say, if I ever plan on gigging this guitar, I'm gonna have to change these out. But for now, that wasn't priority. A aftermarket pickguard. I have the push-pull 250K pot that comes with the Fishman Fluence Modern Ceramic. That's where I kind of splurged. And mainly because I knew I wanted to do a single volume, single humbucker build. And obviously they're not a versatile build, but I wanted mine to be semi-versatile for what it was. And to be honest with you, this humbucker surprised the shit out of me with its pairing of this pot, because the versatility just by, the two voicings and how rangy, that's really not a word, the volume is, you can come up with so many tones on the fly from the same amp setting, if that makes sense. So, W on that. I was not expecting that. And then moving down more, as you can see, I got this tremolo arm. Well, to be honest with you, that wasn't going to be expected. I was originally going to hardtail this thing, but I didn't want to mess with the wood filler. So I just said, you know what, fuck it. I'll just get a tremolo, a bigger block tremolo bridge, and essentially I ended up hardtailing it anyways, which was always the plan. I just screwed the screws in all the way. And then after thinking about it, I said, you know what, whatever. I actually kind of want a tremolo bridge. So good thing I actually got a Wilkinson tremolo bridge, because I decided to set it up for the tremolo use, and I'm glad that I did. All in all, this little, I threw about $320 in mods on this, and I got it for Christmas. So all in all, this is a $320 guitar, and damn does she smoke for $320. Like, this thing has a little hot rodder, especially because I love this chunky ass neck, and this was pretty much so the saving grace for this guitar, because I was over it when I couldn't get it to tune up or hold tune when I first got it. That's why it sat for so long. but I kept picking it up every now and then, and I was like, damn, I like this neck. For rhythm guitar, this is a nice neck. And that's what I built this to be, basically a rhythm guitar. But all in all, it's set up for 9s. I sanded the gloss off the back of this neck, and it just feels like home. Feels like home for, you know, rhythm riffs. But it holds tune phenomenally now. I've been messing with it since I've got it together, pretty consistent, and I've only had to tune a couple times. So yeah, all in all, that's the Fender Starcaster. I mean, I don't know what you'd call it. It's not a Squier. I guess it's it's even cheaper than a Squier originally, how this was marketed, so I guess you just call it a Fender Starcaster, man. So here's the Fender Starcaster. Hot rodded to hell and back. I do believe this is the most hot rodded Starcaster on YouTube. You know, and that's a bold claim, and I'm gonna own that until I see somebody out there, you know, that mods one more than this. I'm laying stake to that claim. I'm laying stake right now to the claim that this is the most modded, hot rodded Fender Starcaster on YouTube. It's my title until somebody shows me a more decked out Starcaster. Oh, and I got the roller string trees too. I forgot to mention that. Got some roller string trees there. But yeah, until I see one that's more decked out than this, the Jimmy Changa has the sickest fucking Starcaster on YouTube. Enjoy some tones, boys. I'm going to show you what this thing can do, and I'm out.
Joe! Stop it! Shut up!